everyone.
So good
We are
evening.
having a
No,
case that
madam, hold on first. It's not you that will first speak.
I can hear you.
Or
Okay,
it's not you that will first speak.
okay.
All right.
I thought you said we are
Yes.
going live. That's why I continue.
We are live already. We are live. But you are not the first person to speak. All right. So good evening once again, our viewers and our audience. We thank you for once again connecting to this simulation presentation. We had Group 8 presented uh, a while ago, and now we are having Group 11 to also do their presentation. And we are going to look at arbitration. It's a matter of an arbitration. So the Group 11 are going to help us to understand how arbitration works. All right, how you can be able to use alternative dispute channel, which is arbitration, to resolve conflict. So we have Group 11 here to do their presentation. So let me give Group 11 the opportunity to introduce themselves. So you tell us your name and your role in the group. Thank you.
Thank you very much, the registrar. My name is Gladys Amidamen. With Group 11, and I'm representing the habitat for this scenario simulation. Thank you.
You're welcome, man. So she is an arbiter. So you're welcome. So go ahead. Introduction.
My name is Okwara Emeka Victor. I am the employer.
Okay, Mr. Emeka is the employer. All right, madam.
Okay, good evening, all of you. My name is Alice Nabie. I'm the complainant, the employee. Thank you.
Nabi, you are joining us from where?
From Kenya.
Okay, all the way from Kenya. So thank you very much for being part of this meeting. I'm going to read their case. So you can mute your mics. Please mute your mics. So I am going to read their case so that you know what the case is all about. And then I'll read the topics, I'll read the background, and then we'll look at the conflict areas, and then also we'll look at the area of focus. So I am going to read their case now so that we can have an understanding. So Group 11, they are presenting an issue on employment disputes. The matter is on the issue of employment. So employment disputes, unfair termination, unfair termination. So that is the issue here. All right. So what's the background? An employee claims they were unfairly terminated without just cause and are seeking compensation. The employer argues the termination was due to consistent poor performance and violation of company policy. All right. The employer argues the termination was due to consistent poor performance and violation of company policy. Conflict, unfair dismissal versus employer's right to terminate. All right. So you are dealing with the issue of fair or unfair issues here, unfair dismissal or unfair, or when you don't give somebody some form of fair hearing and consideration. So this is the issue we are dealing with here. And then of course, we are looking at the focus is evaluating evidence, performance reviews, and adherence to employment contracts. So this is the area of focus. So while they are discussing, we'll see how they will bring these issues out. Evaluating evidence, performance reviews, and adherence to employment contracts. So this is what we're going to see this Group 11 demonstrate here. All right. So for those of you that may be joining us for the first time, that you may not be aware of how what we're doing here, this is The training provided by the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management, and it's a free 1-month professional training on alternative dispute resolution. And we have groups that are practicing how to, mediate and arbitrate and negotiate. So this is what we are doing here. Is a simulation training that we are here this evening to witness. So you are welcome. So you, the audience, you can also observe, make your observation in the comment section so that we'll see whether they are doing well or they are going off point. You will observe and make your comment. Ambassador Halima has been so effective making comments and observations, and they're actually effective observations. So I hope that you are also going to contribute to make such observations. So I am going to allow group 11 to go ahead with their presentation now. So group 11, the floor is open for your presentation.
Okay. Can we all hear us?
Yes. Mrs. Ejiofor, please,
Thank
if
you
you
very
join us, can you be stable? If you can stable your camera, it will help us because it's like we are moving. So if you can be stable and focus on the
Okay.
camera and also mute your mic, you can help us. So can you mute your mic now?
Okay.
Mrs. Ejiofor, can you mute your mic? Can you hear me? Okay, we were even going to do the presentation without her, so I'm going to remove her from the meeting so that we can continue. Let's proceed. The floor is
Okay.
open for you, Group 11. You
Thank
can
you
go
very
ahead with your
much.
presentation. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Today we are hearing a case of an employee-employer relations, a conflict resolution in the office. But before I set the tone for proceeding, my name is Ambassador Gladys Amiedame. I'm the arbiter for this case. I'd like you to know that this case was reported to the National Industrial Court, and the National Industrial Court has channeled this proceeding to this arbitration center, Peace for Peace Arbitration Center, which I represent. We are here to listen to Glad Eye Consult, the employer, and Mrs. Alice Nabie, who is the complainant, the employee who is complaining of being summarily terminated without fairness. Dispute resolution room of Peace and Peace Arbitration Center. So we will be listening to the complainant and the employer. We will have an opening statement from both of them to establish why they have come and we are at this point. To witness this proceeding, I want you to know that this ADRO Center was established under the National Industrial Court of Nigerian's resolve. So I welcome you all again. So I'm going to call the first person in the person of the complainant, Mrs. Alice. Miss Alice, please give us your opening statement. Tell us who you are and why you have come before this arbitration center with your complaint. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Arbitrator Gladys.
Alice?
Yes. Thank you so much, Arbitrator Gladys. I want to again introduce myself. I am Alice Nabie, the complainant and the employee of the Glad Eye Consults Company. I was employed by this company on 1st of March 2024, and on 7th of September 2024, I received a termination letter. I took this up because I felt it was not fair, it was not justified, and moved to the courts. But after consultation, we thought it wise to move to the arbitration chamber. That is why we are here. Actually, the idea is that during this particular period, I've been faithfully working for the company. I have gone to greater heights to ensure that this company is able to achieve its goals. But I want to register my disappointment that I received this particular termination letter even without any warning. I did not even receive any chance to do any reforms. I thought it was unfair. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Alice Nabie, for your opening statement. Please, representative of Glad Eye Consult, I believe you're here. If you could step forward and give your opening statement as well. Thank you.
Yeah. My name is Okwara Emeka Victor from Lagos State. I am from Glad Eye Consult Limited. I'm the manager managing the company. I employed Mrs. Alice on the 1st March 2024. And since then, she has been working. This is her 7th month. She has been working. I discovered that she has been missing work 3 times in a week. But when she got the job, she was so committed to the job. But since past 3 months now, she has not been coming to work. Our job duty was every Monday to Saturday. Our off days is on Sunday. But every time, 3 times in a week, she's not coming to job. And the policy of the company said, you must come to work 6 times in a week. And if you fail to come, the company have a policy that guide the company. The company have a policy. I have told our colleagues, which is Mrs. Ifenwa, that these are our colleagues used to come to work late, sometimes 3 times in a week, and sometimes they produce 300 cartons in the company in our own department. But whenever she's not around, they will produce only 20 cartons, and that thing have been bringing the company down. The company is no more meeting up the targets. Whenever she's not around, each of them have a target. Each of them, there are 3 people in the department. Each of them used to work on their carton. But whenever she's not around, the company used to work just 200 cartons. I have been complaining to our colleagues, who is the witness, which is Ifenwa. I've told her to talk to her, save her, but she refused to change. And my complaint is going down. Every week, I will lose nothing less than 3 to 400 cartons. So I now decided that I should let her go. On the 7th of this month, I have to ask her to go. I have to terminate her contract because I cannot employ somebody that will bring in my company down. So I'm okay. I've terminated her contract. That's why I just said I don't want to work with her again. Let her go. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Emeka of Glad Eye Consults. Your statement is taken. You talked about policy. Could you please provide this document, the policy document of your company for reference if you have it here, please?
Have it there with me.
Please hand it over to secretary. Please hand over to the secretary. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, we will go ahead with the proceeding and understand. And I'd like to hear from you, Mrs. Alice. Could you provide for me a detailed occurrence of events in your office that has led to this termination? Because from the opening statement of your employer, it states that you have been called to order. Your colleagues too have been asked to call you to order. You used to do very well when you started with the company. Production was 100 crates by each staff, meaning that if you were 5 of you in that, you could make 500 crates in a week. But now the entire team can only make just about 200 crates. So, and this have been called to your attention. Could you please share or recount if you have had to have dealings with your employer on this matter and the eventual termination, please? Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arbitrator Gladys. I also want to appreciate my employer for being honest in some areas. I admit that during my initial time, this company moved to greater heights. I also want to admit that of late, my role as the employee has been affected not by my own making, but because of a number of issues. But I also want to say my employer has exaggerated in some issues because I do not absent myself without permission. There is always a reason. Like sometimes I attend to my partner who is not feeling well. And anytime I do that, I always report. Other issues about using the company material, I want to admit that I may not have been aware because some of them came in naturally. Like when I was writing my paper and I was all in the office, I thought it was not bad to type one item on the school, on the company laptop, and even print a copy for myself. So I want to admit that because of several violations, several conditions which have gone through due to sickness, due to that economic strain, because of one-handed provision in the house, I may have violated some of the company rules. But I want to say that on absenteeism, I'm never absent without permission. I also want to say that I've made a lot of time to cover up whatever that I lose. And I want to also highlight what my employer said, that anytime I'm absent, there is a big drop in the company. I'm actually a key member in that company. And therefore, I believe terminating my employment without prior notice without being given an opportunity to reform was not fair. That requires that I get compensation, bearing in mind that I've gone through, say, this is my 7th month, and my contract indicates that I'm to go through 6 months probation. I need to be confirmed or be compensated. Thank you so much.
From what you have said, you said you still hold claims that you feel you were summarily dismissed or terminated without fairness. But you mentioned something that has to do with your partner and illness. Is there any time you brought this before management? Um, and was there like a disciplinary meeting or committee set up to look into your lapses and non-performance? And did you share with the company the challenge you are going through? I Save for your permissions that you said you took in being absent, do you have documented records to say you took those permissions, whether by way of writing, email, or text message to your line manager?
Thank you so much. I want to admit that initially, when I got the problem, I did not want to share. And that included sharing with my company. And therefore, I kept numb until later when the manager called me and asked. That is the time I shared. Maybe it was a bit late. About permission, I was able to get permission twice from my manager, but I thought asking for permission every time there's a problem was not fair. So sometimes I actually attended to my problem. I call it problem without permission, but I ensured that I compensated for the time I was not present. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Emeka of Glad Eye Consults, I'm sure you were listening sternly to Alice's narration.
Yes.
Besides what you gave as an opening statement of her non-performance, her non-availability at work and all of that, are there other specifics? I'm going to put my questions together, so please listen carefully. Are there other specific reasons beside what you said in your opening statement? And also, can you confirm that she did take permission once or twice and never took permission again, as well as the issue with her family, the challenge she's going through? Are you aware of that? And lastly, based on what she told us, I want to ask, do you have an employee code of conduct or what do we call it in organization, employee handbook in your organization that specifically shows or states how the employee is supposed to behave, use of company properties and and all of that? If you do, we would like to cite a copy as well. And if you could write down the pages that has to do with her violation, so that the secretary can just look through it and scribble something. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, let me take please let me take the see the look at the code of conduct section 1. On the code of conduct said that first time absence, verbal warning; second time absence, verbal warning and documentation; and the third one, failure to improve absence after warning is termination, unapproved. So when she started working with the company, Yes, I can recall that twice I've given her approval. But after that 2 months, the third month, she begin to go home. She go home anytime she like, come to work anytime she like, without proper documentation, proper notice. So that's why I have to follow the policy of the company under section 1 that said neglect of duty or irresponsibility lead to termination. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Emeka, did you or your management um, exercise HRO policies on finding out what was the issue of this consistent absenteeism or just aloofing of work at any time to establish the need for your last session, the third provision of termination, to be invoked? Did you establish that fact?
No, no, we did not establish that because she's still under our probation. It is which she's confirmed, therefore we can be doing such thing for her. But since she's still under probation, not a confirmed staff, that is why we feel like, say, since she's not yet confirmed, let us terminate her contract once and for all, since she's not ready to work. Thank you.
What is the provision for staff for probation? I know there are different guidelines in a different organization, but what's your provision for staff under probation in this matter? Because you have just said because she's not confirmed, you are summarily dismissing or terminating her. Where is the place of fair hearing, even if she's under probation? I'm sure you were paying her this period of probation. Were you not paying her? She
No,
was not working for free, right?
yes, I'll be paying her for this past month, September last month, because of her consistent not coming to job for work. I refuse to pay her.
Okay. Okay. Have you handed over that document to the employee manual to my secretary, please?
Yes, let me
I
hand
need
it
for
over
her to get her
to
stuff.
go to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I asked you if you were aware of her partner's situation.
No,
Were
if
you
I'm
at
aware,
any time, did she share with you or you heard from grapevine that she had?
no, I'm not aware of anything
Go
because
ahead,
I am
please.
the manager. I cannot be coming to where she is and be talking. No, I am the manager. I have other things on my head. That one is not my problem. But she's not coming to job. She's not coming to work.
Fair enough. Please, I need you to ascertain something because she said she's a very, very critical member of your team, and she knows she has been putting quite enough to make sales and business operation um, blossom. So can you actually confirm if she is a hard worker, if she at the time she began that you claimed that she was doing very well, was she really putting a lot of effort to making the company's yield
Yes,
effective?
I will not lie to that. She has been trying even when I give them say you will work 10 no, 100 cartons. There are three of them working in that department. 300 tacos is 100 each. Sometimes they will do 350, 400. She has been trying, but since all these months she withdraw and my company is going down.
Okay, fair enough. Madam Alice, Madam Alice, can you hear me?
Yes, I can get you clearly.
Okay. So it was stated by your employer that at some point they mentioned to your colleague to also call you to order and have a discussion concerning this low performance and incessant absenteeism or dashing off work or using I'm sure not using company's property but the first two. Did you have that discussion with your colleague? I'm sure they mentioned Ifeinwa. Unfortunately, is Ifeinwa in this proceeding today?
No,
She's
he's not.
Okay. So could you confirm that you had she's not? Okay, could you confirm that you had that discussion with Ifeinwa? Because that's the name that was mentioned.
Thank you so much. I want to confirm that once and with only Ifenywa, we had a discussion. She had been asked by my employer to talk to me. We talked at length, and after a long discussion, I also requested that she reports to the employer about my situation. Now that my employer is saying he has no idea, I want to believe there was some break because I talked to Ifenywa about my situation and sent to the employer, the director, to be able to listen, give a listening ear, and also understand my condition. So seemingly the message did not arrive there. But I want to say also, other than the low performance, about my absenteeism and so on, I say there is also another factor that could have brought that drop. And that factor was the building of the other company next to our company. That company was making the same production, and therefore there was a lot of competition. In fact, some of the trips I've been making was strategizing the marketing of our goods so that even as we increase the production, there is ready market. So I want to say that I've used there's something extra I've been able to do for the company, and I believe I still need to help this company grow to the next level. Thank you.
Okay. Miss Alice, how many children do you have?
I have 4 children. Two of them are in
Mm,
college, one in secondary, another one is still in the lower grade.
okay. You said your husband is ill, or your partner, like you said, is ill, or
Mm.
what's is it a situation that has left him incapacitated, and
Yeah.
is this affecting on you having to manage the home front, or you just it's just one of those illnesses?
One thing is that because of that, he was actually is not able to fetch for the family the way we have always done. Like at the time I
Is he
started
working?
working, he is no longer
Mhm.
working because of that, and therefore I shoulder everything. But that notwithstanding,
Mhm.
I'm doing my best. I'm using extra time to ensure that my production still remains. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Emeka of Glad Eye Consult. Are you
I,
still
ca-
with
I,
me?
yes,
Mr. Emeka, do
I'm
you
with
have
you.
children? Mr.
Yes,
Emeka, do you have children?
yes.
Is your wife working? Is your wife working too? Or your wife is a complete stay at home?
Is a housewife.
So she's enjoying your money, sir.
Yes,
How many children do you have, sir?
just two
Anyway,
children.
that's just on the lighter note. Two of them. Okay, fair enough. You asked me, but your organization, I think you have a certain culture that you have built in your organization. Unfortunately, if anyone who seemed to be a critical person of this equation is not here on this proceeding, I would have loved to hear from her. If Alice actually confided in her and she did not find a way of making it known, because she was actually asked to talk to Alice on her performance drop and all that, but she did not come back to you to share that Alice was having some family challenge. Be that it doesn't exonerate Alice from performing at her work, but at the same time, we want to know, we want to understand that at workplace, if someone does not have a balance mentally, if there's a mental health situation with an employee, it's ultimately affects on the job delivery. And this is some of this thing I am seeing in this situation. I know as a manager, it behoves on you to make sure that the company grows and sales are good, irrespective of competition around of you. But I have critically looked at the evidence you brought. I was even going to ask, was there any time you gave query to Mrs. Alice on this issue?
No.
Okay. Thank you very much. There's no documented query email. It's just a word of mouth and asking her colleague. So
Verbal.
we do not have a just verbal. Okay. Thank you very much. So besides the employees handbook and the policy document of the company that you presented as evidence backing performance, I do not have any written document as query or email memo written to call Mrs. Alice to order in the way she has been behaving. Uh, Even with that, she actually owned up that she, yes, said that she used some of company's materials to do her personal billing, but she never knew that it was something against law. I would recommend that you have a performance policy kind of training in your company, because I know people don't like to read a lot. So you need to find somebody who will break it down, maybe HR, policy by policy, and share with them in a summary form so that they are aware, not just for Alice alone, but for your other staff, especially going into the future. I would really recommend that if you have not done it, please try as much as possible to do it for your company. For Alice's too. I think whatever you are going through is a family issue. Try as much as possible to find balance to it, so that it does not affect your work. Because if the company has to take you out summarily, how would you cope with what is currently going on, as you have stated? On this note, I am going to give my verdict. As I have looked at the policy document and the terms of condition and her job description, which has shown that she has been up and doing, except when she had this situation, and the fact that she's 6 months already due for confirmation, rather she was getting a termination. I would say, based on this argument that we have had with your opening statement, and on humanitarian ground, I want to tell Glad Eye Consult Management to, at this point, you can extend her probation by another 3 to 4 months and watch her performance. If it doesn't improve, you can decide to either come back to the honorable center to say that you are done, you have tried. Also, if there are any losses that has been incurred in her usage of company properties, you may, please take my word, you may, I'm not putting it to you, I say you may, wanting to get back some of the losses, decide to take a tiny piece of percentage of her salary on installment basis to cover up for whatever losses. Like I said, you may not. And then Mrs. Alice, for you, you will have to write an undertaking to your management that you will improve on your performance, you improve on your attendance, and you would adhere strictly to every policy concerning employment and employees in the company. And where you are not clear, please, we'll ask you to seek clarity. And if she violates any of these, Glad I Consult has the prerogative without notice to terminate. And on this note, I want to say, if this is a fair consideration and fair verdict, I'd like to hear from both of you. First, I want to hear from Alice, if this is fair enough, so that we can also hear from your employee and have a wrap. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arbitrator Gladys. I want to appreciate your listening. I want to appreciate your counsel, and I want to appreciate this firm. I want at this moment to agree with the award that you give us and promise that I'll do the write-up to commit myself to working towards the growth of this company. I also want to appreciate my employer if he consents that I will do my best and ensure that this company moves to greater heights. Actually, it is the challenge that I've had that may have affected my performance. But you bear witness with me, I can work. Thank you so much. The award is accepted. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Emeka, please.
Okay.
Are you agreeing and accepting this verdict, please?
I accept it with some condition. 1, 3-month probation again. 3 months. She is supposed to be confirmed last month, but because of her nonchalant attitude and not coming to work, I'm giving her another 3-month probation. And inside that probation, I'm giving her salary will come in full because of her family situation. And also, she will resume duty on the 14th of October 2024, next 2 weeks, Monday. And also, before she will resume, she have to come on the 12th of October, which is on Friday, to come and write an undertaking that she will adhere to the company policy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Emeka. I'm glad I consult. Alice, I'm sure you got him clearly. We would follow up on this to be sure that you did your own bit. Thank you for everyone who is here with this proceeding. We have tried to establish and we are happy to say that we got an award verdict in respect to Glad I Consult and Ms. Alice Nabia. And by the authority of this center, ADR center, we so accept both and call this a wraps for the proceeding. Thank you very much. And we are grateful and appreciative of your presence. Thank you. Mr. Joshua, that is a wrap. Mr. Joshua, we are done, sir. Thank you.
I just brought a comment up here so that you can see what this person is saying here. The registrar is speechless with the look of things. He really enjoyed this presentation. He never wanted it to end, actually. If I must confess the truth, I don't want it to end. I just want to continue to listen and listen to it, and then because it's like I myself, I'm also learning from the way you are presenting. I must say that people have done a great job, a very great job, and that's what teamwork means. That's what it means to also work hard, and it's a sign of determination that okay, in this I'm not taking this for granted. I want to do my best. That is doing your best at any point in time. It doesn't matter whether we are playing or not. You just want to give your best, and that is what I want. And I am so impressed. That because some people just take it so casually, like, oh well, it's just formality. Let's go and do it. No, but you people have done well. I am sure, madam, it's like you are a lawyer, but confess to us if you are a lawyer or you are just composing yourself
It is
here.
true, I'm a
Me?
lawyer.
No. I'm not.
Yes,
Nabi, are you a lawyer?
yes. I'm asking you, are you a lawyer?
I'm not a lawyer. I don't even have
Are you
anything
serious?
close to that. Alice, are you a
Okay, you
lawyer?
have done something close to that, but you are not a lawyer.
Well, I studied peace and conflict resolution in my master's level, and I'm also a peace educator for HWPL. So many times we do role play to make to for the communities to understand when we are trying to make them get a particular concept or content. So maybe that, but for being a lawyer, I know jack not about anything law. I don't even know which one Nigeria, no law. I don't have any law, nothing. Zero. I don't.
Hey, all right. You have
I
just
only
used your
listen to them when they
experience
do
to,
it.
yes. But the way you use your experience to, go through this process, I am so impressed. And it seems that you know what you are doing, even in your own personal profession, where you are working, it means that you know what you are doing. And yeah, I want to invite you to come and be a member of this institute. Um, if you make up that decision, we will give you
I'm
50%
working on
discount.
it.
It
Oh.
doesn't matter.
I'm working on
Okay.
it. I want to gather all my money.
No, don't worry. I'm giving you 50% discount. But it doesn't matter any category of membership you have chosen, you receive 50% discount to be a
Please
member
give
of
my
this
team
institute.
members too. Please give my team members too. Please give
If they
my
are
team
willing
members.
to also be
We
part
all
of
work
the
tirelessly, non-stop. My maker is
okay,
always
if they are
on my
willing to
neck,
also be
like,
members of
let's
the
do this,
institute.
let's do this.
We are willing, I'm willing.
They are, oh, they are. You can't get this far and not be
All right.
willing to.
Since you are willing
Thank you,
to be
sir.
part of the institute as members of the institute, whenever you make up your mind to, apply and become a member of the institute, I I am going to take a record of your details so that I will have it. So whenever you make up your mind to be part of the institute, just consider that you have already received 50% discount. 50% discount. That's the level
Thank you,
of.
sir. Thank you,
That's to
sir.
tell you
Appreciate
that
it.
I am so much impressed with your work. I get a point now. And apart from that,
Thank
for
you.
this
Thank you.
presentation, you will also receive 30 marks. That is full 30% marks for your presentation. So you will now battle with your examination
Thank you
for
very much.
70% and see how you pass your exams. By and large, I really appreciate all of
Okay,
you
sir.
for your
Did you get
presentation and your commitment.
did you get our slide presentation, sir? I sent it to you.
Okay, I will check it maybe after the meeting.
We did like a summary of what the not just the role play, but just the situation. So we did
All right,
a slide
I will go through it
presentation that
and
we
see
sent to you, sir.
what you have done. All right, I will go through it.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
We
sir.
really appreciate all of you. And
Yes,
also, we appreciate
me too.
our audience who are in the comment section commenting, Mr. Eniola,
Thank you.
Enitan, Haliman. You people have made this discussion so great. I really appreciate all of you. And that's why we encourage
Thank
others to
you.
come and listen. Assuming those that have their topics on arbitration are here, they would have learned a lot of things, and that would have helped them to like also perfect their own presentation. But a good number of them are not here. They have missed a lot, except they will go and watch this presentation. I can tell you for sure they have missed. Thank you very much. Let me allow you people to go. I have another class by 7. Have a great evening, and we'll see during the exam. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
You're
team.
welcome.
We'll see you in our
Thank
room.
you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.